Hi everyone, good morning. This is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a project share. Well, I actually had two, but I already gave one away, so I don't have it to share with you, but I will share a picture and I will try and recreate it so that way you guys can get a better look at it. Um, there's only a couple of dies that I used to create my next project during the holiday seasons. We always try to, keep in mind that, our mail lady, you know, that they take care of us all through the year. I know that's their job, but it doesn't hurt to be kind. So we take care of our mail lady and we take care of our garbage collector as well, and or garbage man. And so my husband asked me to create a couple of cards for them. And my husband was a garbage man for years and years and years and years and years. So, you know, he takes care of them. So I want to share with you the dies that I use. I only use two dies because for me, I prefer a die over a cutting file from the machine. That's my personal preference. So, and these will become dies eventually, but I didn't have time to have them created right now in time for the holidays. So I'm thinking maybe later on this afternoon, I might make them available for SVGs. But in the coming new year, I do want to have them made into dies, but then they'll have to be smaller. But the one of the dies that I use is just a circle die from Spellbinders. Any circle die that you have will do as long as they're concentric dies or nesting dies. So I use that. And then I use this by Diamond Press, the holiday sentiments that have the curl at the end. I believe Erica Scrap Diva has some like this. But I've had this a long time, so, and I never used it, so I pulled it out to use it. So those are the two that I used, and then I used an SVG file that I created, and I created, look at this gorgeous card, you guys. Is that gorgeous or what? So I created this file for our garbage man, and the company that provides the service for us is Waste Pro. So in different areas, you have different companies, different cities, and all that. Our local one is called Waste Pro. So all I did was I created the file, but I created it to be card based. So this is a very large die because when you create an SVG file and you have small details, the blade tends to tear it up. So I had to create this in a bigger scale. But when you have it made into a die, you can have those small details and you don't lose them. So that's why I would like to make this smaller, not a whole lot smaller, but smaller. So I did create the base. If I create it into the die, I will not have the shape for the card because that will cost more money for you guys. And you can do about the same thing just with the silhouette die to it. So I'm still going to give it a lot of thought, and two, because you need the bigger machines to run it through. But we will see what I decide on that when the time comes. But this will be available as an SVG for now. So anyway, I created the overall silhouette to create the card base, and then I created all the different layers. So if you're creating this, of course, you would want your main card to be in whatever color you decide you want it to be. I did mine just in white, and then I embossed it because I have the full sheet embossing folders. I hope you can see that it's got snowflakes all over. I have I think they're A4 embossing folder, so I was able to emboss the whole thing, and I couldn't open it up and emboss it. It wouldn't fit. I just closed it up, you guys, and it embossed beautifully on either side. So it does emboss even though you emboss it closed on the front and on the back. I really didn't need the front emboss because I was going to layer it up, but I really wanted the back emboss, so that's why I did it that way. And then the second layer, you would want to do it in black because that kind of is for your tires and to give it just a like a shadow. So I did that in black, and then the cab part I did it in white, and the door I also did it in white. The door does have acetate, so if you wanted to make it into a shaker, you could definitely cut several. See, I have an acetate window there that I can slide something through. Um, but you could cut several, and this opening would be your shaker bit part. So you could definitely create it into a shaker. Now, these trucks have all kinds of lights and just all kinds of stuff. And if you start creating like that, you're just going to have millions of little papers. So I kind of just picked what I really thought was would add to the design and where it wasn't too congested. So I kept it kind of simple, but I used all the main things. The only part that's missing here is this little bumper part. I just decided to go ahead and create that. So the new file will have that little piece that goes here. But like I said, I kept it real simple because a lot of times we don't know where these pieces go. We have tons of pieces in a die set and we don't know where they go. And that's why I kept it real simple, like the toolbox that they have, a couple of lights up here, the strip, and then it's going to have the bumper, and of course the door, and then these, what do you call these? I don't remember what these are called, but where the tire well goes. So I did these on here, and then of course the tire, I cut it out with my concentric, my nesting dies. And this one right here is a file. So I did use the one of the circle dies to create the tires, but the and the details were little. I didn't think it was going to do that well, but it ended up doing pretty good cutting that detail. And this is, I did cut it out in heavyweight paper. And then here's where I used that Merry Christmas die. And I created this file in a way where it would be easier to use. Like, for example, this layering piece right here, instead of cutting all these little squares and you had to line them up and glue them down, I actually did an opening where you can just back it with a little strip of whatever color paper you want to use, and it looks like you added all these little pieces, but in reality you only added a strip of paper to the back of the layering piece. So I was trying to make it easier to use where you didn't have all those little pieces where it wasn't necessary. And then the company logo, I printed it out on photo paper, glossy photo paper, where it would look shiny the way the trucks do. And then of course this is a Hobby Lobby poinsettia, and this came from my Heartfelt Creations poinsettia Christmas die from a couple years ago. I had some pieces that I didn't use in a box, and I felt like it needed something else. And you know, the garbage collectors, there's certain days that they pick up just trash, and then certain days they do recycle, and then certain days they do horticulture, which is like trees and limbs and anything that's a plant. So I decided to add this holly here as if it were horticulture day that they're picking that up. So I thought that was pretty cute, and I said to my husband, look, as if they're picking up brush, and he goes, no, today's not brush day. I said, no, it's make believe. I said, so I added the holly and the flower. And then this piece back here, I'm going to bend this back so you guys can see, because you can use this all year around. The piece back here, also, I did the same thing here. I did the cutouts where all you had to do, you have two layers actually. You have a back one, and then you have the piece, same exact layer, but it has the cutouts, because a lot of times trucks have, like, it's the same color, but it's shaded a little bit darker. So that way, if you needed to layer up two different colors, there you can see it right there. You're able to do that by just cutting the one solid and then the one with the holes, and then the paper from underneath, the color you use underneath, will show through those openings. So that's kind of how I did it, instead of making those little pieces that you had to glue there. Anyway, and then for the inside, we like to give cash to our mail lady and to our garbage collector. So I just did a layering piece. I did a layering piece and I cut out a slit where you can add whether it be cash or a gift card or something. Because we're doing cash, I did the longer one, and I'm going to keep it as the longer one even when I make it smaller, because that way you can either put money or a gift card. And then I just left a little bit of room right here for the sentiment, and of course you could write here your personal message, and you can see that it's embossed there too. But I love, love, love the way this came out. And then because it is a tent fold on the top, it actually stands up and it looks really, really cute, you guys. Look at that. So that's one that I created. And let me grab my phone and I will share the the mail lady one because she already took it and I didn't get a chance to share it. So let's see. Hers was really, really cute. So there is the mail lady. Let me make it bigger. So there's my mail lady card that I created for her. And the sentiment that's on there was gifted to me by my friend Sabrina a couple years, few years ago. And I hadn't had a chance to use it, or I didn't know what I wanted to use it. But it was perfect on the mail truck. The mail truck is the same thing. I did a silhouette on the inside. I don't think I have a picture. Let's see. I did the silhouette on the inside, so no. I did the silhouette on the inside that way. Oh, yep, here it is. So here is the mail truck. It also has that slit for the sentiment and then where we inserted the cash. But I love, love, love. There you get a good picture right there. I love, love, love the way it came out. I don't know which one's my favorite, guys. I like both of them. So uh, I'm thinking that this would make a great die, not just for the holidays. That's why after the new year, I'm going to make it into a die because I feel like, if your husband's a sanitation engineer or if he works in a waste company, if or your son or your brother or whomever, these would make great birthday cards. So that's why I think that this is a good idea. Also because we bless those people who provide a service for us, or they work in that. Like my sister-in-law, she used to be a mail lady. So for me, I could use that for any time. And also we send happy mail and stuff like that. So I think this will be a good one. But these are not coming until after the new year, probably sometime around March as in a die form, but they are going to be smaller, not a whole lot smaller, but definitely smaller than this, because this one, when it's finished, it's the mail truck was a little bit shorter than this one, but this one, it's, gosh, it's like 10 3/4 inches long. It's not very wide, the width is fine. It's not so much, but in the width, it's about 5.5 inches approximately. But because it's a sanitation truck, those are longer. So if I make it into a die, of course, it's going to be smaller, and it's also going to shrink the width because I want to make it at least maybe a 5x7, I think would be a good size. And, but I love, love, love the way this came out. And as soon as I recreate the mail one, I will share it with you guys as well. And on this one, I just happen to have, look at those beads right there. They look like the bolts that are on a tire. So I had those in my stash and I added them there as if those are the bolts that are on the wheel. Anyway, guys, that is all that I have to share today. I hope that everyone is having a great day. I hope that you guys are almost prepared for Christmas. I actually did pretty good this year. Still creating some cards, working on more files because I have grandchildren that are like in college and they're out on their own. So I kind of like to bless them, you know, especially during the holidays. I can't buy them anything because they all have different tastes. My taste wouldn't be like theirs, but everybody loves gift cards, and they all love money. So this is another one that I am working on, and this is like a woman's long wallet, and it does have the stitching there. And I did this, I cut it out with my machine, but when I create it into a die, the size is not going to change. Maybe it won't be stitching, it will be more like embossing. I really don't know yet where I'm going, if I'm going to change that, but it will be very similar to this. And then I decided that my granddaughter loves Starbucks, so I made two sections for cards and then one for the bills. On this side, I did emboss the panel, and I did change my mind on the width of this. It's going to be maybe a half an inch longer, where only the edge of a bill would be sticking out and not as much. But I really love the way this one came out, and I did create a layer for this. So these are just my prototypes where I start, and that way I can see, okay, I need to fix this or I need to do that. And that's how I start out. But and this will have a gusset, so you will be able to, let's say you wanted to give somebody a gift card, but you also wanted to give them a certain candy bar that they like. You will be able to definitely use this pocket and add sides to the sides and to the bottom, where you can slide in a full-size candy bar. You would be able to do that. So this is still in the beginning stages, but after, like I said, after the new year, I am going to be having some new designs that I'm going to have created. Also, within the coming week, I'm hoping either right before Christmas or right after, for the new year, I do have a new release that's coming out, and that is, I think, like 7 designs, and I think they're really cute. So that's going to be my Valentine release, and it is already on its way over to me. So as soon as that comes in, I will share it with y'all. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.